Welcome back to Healthcare Sucks in the continuation of the news tonight. And I thought I'd bring you something different. Let's check this out. I haven't watched this, so let's check this out. It sounded pretty cool, actually. From Los Angeles.
Were forced to close, and now they're unsure just how they're going to afford basics like food.
But some local organizations are stepping in to help. CBS 2's Joy Benedict shows us a lot of people turned out for free groceries in Koreatown.
From the box to the bag, food was piled up on pallets and eventually put in the hands of those who need it most.
I went from 40 hours a week to 10 hours a week. It's just been one thing after another.
John Napoleon was one of the first in line at the First Unitarian Church in Koreatown for 2 free bags of groceries.
We got hit. Everybody in my neighborhood got hit. We don't know when it's going to get back to the way it used to be.
Napoleon is also one of the million people in California who filed for unemployment in the last 2 weeks.
A lot of the people in this neighborhood were already struggling before this pandemic hit.
Trinity Tran volunteers for Urban Partners Los Angeles, which organized this grocery giveaway, handing out a bag of non-perishable foods and a second full of fruits, bread, even meat to help those who are hungry.
These are people who don't have the luxury of working at home. These are people who have hourly jobs. And because hours have been cut, jobs have been lost. You know, a lot of people are struggling.
Urban Partners Los Angeles actually gives out food each and every week, usually a couple of hundred bags. But obviously this week they're giving out so much more, 1,000 bags of food, because the demand is greater than ever.
Our district happens to be the second poorest district in the state of California, so the goods that we give today mean a lot more than they've ever meant in our lifetime.
This isn't the only place handing out food. All over California and this nation, businesses are donating supplies, people their time, as sheltering to survive is hurting many.
We're hoping that the best of humanity comes out during the worst crisis in our lifetime.
And for those in need, they say the support is clear.
This is just a blessing in disguise.
For although it may not look like much, 2 bags of groceries can feed a family for a week, giving them not only food, but hope as they...
అవసరాల కోసం జనం వీధిలోకి వస్తున్నారు. దీనిపై మరింత సమాచారం మా
I don't know about you guys, but 2 bags of groceries is not very much. And I thought this was in English, but it turns out it's not, so I apologize. So with that, we are going to turn to Canada.
Social distancing is making a difference in the fight against COVID-19 in this country. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau thanked Canadians today for the sacrifices they're making, but he said it's no time to get complacent. Here's why. As of right now, more than 800 new cases have been confirmed across the country. That brings the number of people who have tested positive to more than 5,500. More than 60 people have died. That's more than the number of lives lost during the 2003 SARS outbreak. Once again, Quebec saw the biggest daily spike at 477 new cases and 4 more new deaths. Every province and territory except Nunavut has detected the virus. And as you can see, the numbers are going up right across the country. Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, and BC are the hardest hit. The Quebec government is restricting non-essential travel in and out of 8 regions of the province. But as Abigail Beeman reports, the federal government is also putting limits on domestic travel to curb the spread of COVID-19.
We need you to continue to stay home.
Justin Trudeau is encouraged by the early evidence out of BC that shows physical distancing may be working. But the Prime Minister says people need to keep doing it, and he's tightening up on travel.
As of Monday at noon, people showing any signs whatsoever of COVID-19 will be denied boarding on all domestic flights and intercity passenger trains.
So what that means, guys, real quick, is if you have allergies, you're screwed. Think I'm kidding? No. Not gonna candy coat it, guys. Allergies. That's right. And the little phony beep boop temperature things, they're finally putting that kind of away. You might see it out there, but it's not. Basically, if you have any signs of a cold, fever, flu-ish, anything, hay fever, you ain't flying. Sorry to break the news.
Cranes.
It's inconvenient, but I think it's necessary to slow this thing down.
It makes me feel a great deal safer.
It's obviously a drastic measure, but it's a pretty difficult situation we're in.
It will be up to companies to provide health checks for all boarding passengers by asking questions and looking for symptoms. Anyone turned away can't try again for 14 days unless they provide a medical note showing the symptoms aren't connected to COVID-19.
Governments, companies, and so on can put whatever measures in place. They're never going to be foolproof. Someone can hide symptoms and so on, take a Tylenol if they do have a fever. So I think at the bottom line, it really is, I think, the collective responsibility.
There's actually opportunists out there trying to gouge the people. I'm coming after them with vengeance.
Ontario's premier is talking about collective responsibility too, announcing tough fines and even jail time for price gougers. There's even a snitch line.
If you're selling face masks, protective gloves, cold medicine, hand sanitizer, and disinfecting wipes, and you're hiking the price 5 times, 10 times what it should be, you're done, you're gone.
That equipment is badly needed, especially personal protective gear for those on the front lines.
Well, what gripes my ass right now, bing, that's kind of half a bing, bing, is the president hasn't stepped up and stopped all that kind of stuff over bidding wars over the machines. The ventilators. I mean, what kind of crap is that? That's the most highest priced things that are out there, and they're not being stopped from price gouging? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I guess I'd have to say it almost makes you wonder if it's okay to do. It's kind of like white-collar crime, guys. You know what white-collar crime is? I'll explain it for those who don't. White-collar crime, you rob hundreds of thousands, millions, or more. You usually don't do no jail time. And if you do, it's like this candy-ass little bing. 6 months where you get steak and lobster and you still get to go out and play tennis. Yeah. While the average guy robs a little bit of money from here or there or food or whatever have you, gets years in the stinky hole penitentiaries, guys. Yeah. There is no justice. And you are guilty till you prove you're innocent. Don't kid yourself. And that's why the little blankety blank person with the scarf across her face, justice is blind. Yeah. I'd like to say what I want to say about that, but I won't, because it wouldn't be very nice. And I would probably have a couple of people yell at me. So, but you guys know where I'm getting that. You know what? With the blindfold over her face is a bleep. Hey, bleep. I think you could put one and one together. It was the devil in me. I'm sorry, guys. Bad choice.
On Saturday, the Chinese embassy tweeted this photo announcing a donation in gear. Canada sent supplies to China last month. The embassy tells Global News those supplies arrived in Toronto on Friday. On Thursday, the Prime Minister said millions of items of gear would be arriving in the country.
They put that crap out in a day at the Factory City, guys, that I told you they had. Go back and watch my videos. They weren't out of masks. They weren't out of nothing. They had hoped to drain everything. And I thought it was to create shortages, which there are. Yes, that was part of it. And now they're stepping up. From giving us the finger that they weren't going to help. Now maybe they're still giving the U.S. the finger. But now they're stepping up and going to be everybody's buddy and everybody's hero. I heard some kind of BS the other day that he was up for maybe some Nobel Prize. Bozo, one of those stupid prizes that are just disgusting. Most people are not deserving. You know which ones I'm talking about. And they were going to give it to Ding Dong China Boy over there. Chibi? I don't think so. Refresher course. China released the bioweapon in 2019 that engulfed 3/4, correct. It just went up 99% of the world except for Antarctica, which, back to that Antarctica thing. But that was all okay. And now we're going to give him a hero buddy badge. I don't think so, guys. We need to step back and remember where this thing started, where this came from. Out of a lab. Do I need to say it again? I don't think so. I think most of you guys know by now. There's been enough proof. I'm running different shows that show it. As a matter of fact, here in a second, we're going to watch some more of that. Here we go.
Coming days. Health officials couldn't say when, but stressed to the public it should be saved for frontline healthcare workers, not people who want to wear a mask while grocery shopping. Abigail Beeman, Global News, Ottawa.
The Prime Minister says his government is in contact with counterparts in Panama, working on a way to help Canadians stranded on board a cruise ship. More than 240 Canadians are passengers on board the Zandam, anchored off the coast of Panama. At least 150 passengers and crew have become infected with.
Here's what I was talking about. This will make you puke.
Global contagion. China is now sending emergency supplies, providing so-called expertise and extending assistance to countries across the world. And now it turns out that China was pretending to help affected countries by selling defective and substandard testing kits. Our next report explores more.
Delivering medical supplies? Check. Assisting local doctors? Check. Sharing expertise? Take a pinch of salt. And check. China is on an image-building mission. After successfully exporting the Wuhan virus, the crafty dragon is now playing the Messiah. The coronavirus exporter says it's helping the world combat the pandemic. Irony died a slow death as this video played. These are medical experts from China sharing their experience in preventing and controlling the coronavirus. The guinea pigs here are Malaysian healthcare workers.
Very strangely in that room, I don't know if you caught it. Maybe I'll run it. I think I'm going to run it again for you. I didn't see a girl with short hair in that room. What does that mean? That if those were even real doctors, that they were pulled totally aside? They didn't have to cut their hair like you've seen those poor China nurses doing. No. I told you. Like North Korea, this is all for show. It's all in the end game. Without a shot fired, they've managed to kill off the stock market. How many stock markets? How many people, period, deaths? And how many liveliness? And take away our freedoms, guys. Biggest of all, taking away our freedoms. Because China unleashed the bioweapon. One more time. Bioweapon. Yes, bioweapon. And it's not done yet. And if this thing just poof and goes away, there are so much underlining things that are going to come out about this down the road, guys. Because this one's not going to be let go. People like me, yours truly, people like you guys that watch, and many others across that have had their lives tore up, put on hold, and just demolished. You know what? They're saying the money, the stimulus, but yet they're not postponing credit cards, debt, with no penalties and no credit bumps. I'm talking about your homes, your cars, everything you owe a penny on. Should all be just either wiped clean, banks can cover it. They got enough money just now. Write it all off. If not, postpone it at least with no penalties. So basically, like, till we're back on our feet, forgiveness for those months, like you paid it, towards actually paying it, because guess what? You did pay it. They got money for you paying it. I'm not kidding. But let's say they continue this and they don't. So what do they do next? Remember a little thing about during the Bush era, homes by Fannie Mae and crooked companies selling crappy bonds out there? Remember the crash? I put forth to you that they could be taking a lot more away from a lot of people down the road, including, like I've said, up to a 50% tax when this is done. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. Look at my eye. There's no joke here. I mean it. So we'll see as we ride down the Wuhan monster's back and slide off into the pile of deplorables at his feet. And watch as his ass goes down the road and we, the men and women, are left behind as our president said we wouldn't be. Will it turn out to be one of the greatest shots ever fired without a bullet or sound by a bioweapon, first basically used of its kind like this across the world? Of course, they've used little bioweapons in countries, and we know about all those things over the years. But somebody stepped up named China and did a full-fledged WW3 attack on the world, more or less. And they're going to hand him an award. Not on this channel. So we're going to watch a couple more minutes of this, and then I'm going to end it. But I want you to watch more of what's going on over there. And some of these things are given to people, I guess, are faulty equipment. It's not faulty equipment. It's damaged goods. Do you not remember? I've said this a couple times. Smallpox, fever in the blankets with the Indians. Remember that one? Go look it up. From these bozos, more or less, smallpox fever in the blankets, in the masks. I wouldn't wear anything. As a matter of fact, as we go on in the future, there's been things I needed to order online that could come from China right now that are like sometimes up to maybe 50% cheaper. I'm not buying it no more. I'm buying US made. If it's not here in America, coming from America to Americans, not doing it myself. You guys can do whatever you want to do. If you want to support a country that started World War III, got away with it, and we don't even know how this is going to turn out yet. I'm not putting $1 in them. Not a penny.
China also sent packages to Italy, the coronavirus, and along with it, 30 ventilators, 20 sets of medical monitors, 3,000 protective suits, medical masks, face shields, and medics. A chartered plane landed in Milan on the 25th of March. What taxied was a page straight out of the PR Bible. Flag-waving medics masquerading as saviors. Cambodia and France were also lucky to be at the receiving end of China's kindness. In total, China extended its generosity to 89 countries and 4 international organizations.
The Chinese government will continue to provide anti-epidemic assistance to relevant countries within its reach.
If you asked President Xi yesterday, he would secretly tell you that China's plan of becoming the global superpower was on track. It had sent the global economy to the ICU. Now it was supplying ventilators and earning brownie points through its shoddy PR. What's more, its videos of humanitarian gestures were getting hits. But in the last 24 hours, the game boomeranged. The Spanish government withdrew 9,000 Chinese-made coronavirus test kits. Spain said the Chinese kits were faulty. 70% of the times, the tests were wrong. Long story short, what China is sending on board its relief flights are faulty and substandard kits. The country cannot be trusted. Not its claims, neither its design nor its products. No wonder in India we use the phrase made in China as a synonym for malfunction. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
I couldn't have done it better myself, guys. I think you've heard it out of my mouth over time. That exact scenario before this scenario. So again, Team 99, we're ahead of the curve. What it is, guys, is I've just over time learned to read between the lines and filter out the BS and see the truth. And together we are all seeing the truth. We are all one now. We are Team 99. We are awesome, man. You guys will make it. Believe me. You're going to make it. Because you're strong. Because you're ahead of the curve. And because you're doing what you can. It's not everything that you could dream of doing, because it's like going camping. If you've ever went camping and you left behind, like, I don't know, say the shovel or this or that or the air mattress or whatever. No matter what you plan when you go camping, I guarantee you there's going to be something when you get out there that you go, damn, I have that at home. I wish that I would have brought that. But you already got your truck loaded. The trailer's loaded. So you've done your best. That's what I'm saying, Team 99. We've done our best together. And we're going to be okay. Because we're tough. No matter what country you're in, I'm talking to you guys, all of you. Whether it's Australia, which hats off to you guys, man. You went through so much. I'm so sorry for your fire losses and the things you guys have went through. Australia's just been hit. Canada, I'm sorry for you guys and what's been going on. The USA, brothers and sisters of all of us, and other countries, by the way, I didn't mention France and South Korea. And there's so many. I can't name them all, guys. But you know who all of you are Team 99 here. So please share, subscribe, and thanks to Nice Nancy. I call her Nice Nancy out of California. Got the awesome hat with the Team 99. And again, I'm just happy. It's just you don't even have to do that. Just watching stuff, guys, and just going out and getting your supplies is awesome. I put the sign up because it covers, like, there's little Logans there where they pull, and I'm not even sure if I covered it this time. They pull our videos. But I love you all. Stay safe. And I just can't get it out of my mouth again, or out of my brain, or whatever it is. I'll be back. That's not even a good one. It must have been that lasagna tonight, man. It's like, oh, I had lasagna. I'm like, fat as Garfield. Someday I'll do Garfield for you guys. Garfield, one and only there, Mr. You know who? Ghostbuster himself. Yeah. We all knew who it was behind that cat, didn't we? Behind that fat cat. Healthcare sucks. Over and out.